There's this website called Onyx Truth, and on this website there's an article entitled Face It, Blerd Men Are Better Off Dating Interracial. This article was published by an Onyx Truth contributor by the name of HT, and in parentheses to that name was a linked Twitter account, G's3Howard, that is currently suspended. After reading the entire article, I then read the 173 comments listed below to see what other Blerds had to say. So I read the oldest comment, as well as the newest comments. And for many of the older comments, HT essentially trolled anyone that was in disagreement to his theory, yet within the newer comments, he was more apologetic. Essentially, within both of the old and new comments, it was unanimously agreed that HT was wrong. Now, after I came across the article, I then went on to YouTube because prior to this, I was researching content for a future video. And lo and behold, I came across the YouTube channel of G Lowy, and he posted a video titled Dating Struggles of a Black Nerd. Now, initially when I saw this video, I was unaware of G Lowy and his correlation to Onyx Truth. I didn't know that he would be interviewing HT until I was further introduced to the segment. So, given this correlation to my research as well as my personal experience with the article and my personal interest given that encounter, I was just intrigued and I wanted to watch, so I did. And it was very interesting. There were some critiques that were suggested onto HT by G Lowy and another male commentator, most of which were good critiques to share, but I feel like given their experience within their own life, I don't think they were nerds themselves. I think they were able to understand him and they were able to share their male perspective, but just given that I am a female nerd and I'm black, I just wanted to share my perspective as to why Blerds in general may seem to struggle within dating. Now, this is going to be a general consensus, so there are varying factors and influences, yet given the consistencies of my theory, I will be sharing the most applicable critiques that could subsequently apply to any nerd group or any racial group or any binary that is existent within the two. So, I just wanted to share my perspective because sometimes as individuals, we experience rejection and we internalize these experiences, and later on we project them into the world, causing more harm than what harmed us, quite like HT. So I just wanted to share my perspective as to why certain margins of black nerds experience rejection, because it's not all of us. There are certain factors, like I said, that are varying that can influence our experience.
What it is, because you brought this up about them finding other dudes attractive. So what it is about you that you feel that they don't find attractive or whatever? Is it a physical thing? Is it a personality thing? Or, what is it?
It's a combination of physical and personality. Physical, I compare myself to other dudes, and there's always something about me that feels a little off, but that's just me.
As a precedent, for society to conceptualize blackness, it has been heavily imposed upon the black community to confine the black experience to a one-dimensional construct. There are many black individuals attempting to identify oneself to and or with the black collective through the standardized ideology of blackness, and as a result, the black community is often seen as a monolith. Since stereotypes hold an immense power, it has the ability to imbue the mind and mold perspectives, eventually aiding in the generalization of people within a given identity group as seen within the black community. Deviating from social normatives and exercising the freedom of expression typically categorizes you as a nerdy black or blerd, modernly referred to as the alternative black, furthermore leading to the ostracization of black individuals. Considering social hierarchies are universal, the narrative of outcasting the nerd is prevalent within all racial groups, yet it is typically magnified within the black community given the ideal of blackness being an association to anti-intellectualism. So for black nerds, given that they're both black and nerd, They experience a level of ostracization that isn't quite comparable to other races of individuals. Given this ideology of blackness being an association to anti intellectualism, and this reality of nerds being representative of the lower tier within the social hierarchy, there is a margin of black nerds with a heightened sense of inadequacies and insecurities pertaining to their identity. And at times, given communal and societal ostracization, it may feel as if you're an anomaly, furthermore pushing you into a space of self-inflicted alienation. So lacked confidence, hypermasculinity, hyperfemininity, exaggerated and or elaborate fallacies are compensations often due to insecurity. That may be the reason why you're experiencing rejection.
My history with women is always like, the only time I ever get girlfriends or a girl who likes me, there's always some like giant piece of like, there's always like excruciating circumstances explaining how I got the girl. Like with my first girlfriend, I literally had to beat the shit out of 3 people to save her, and that's how we met.
Oh.
And then the second girlfriend I met dicking around in the comments of a college humor post. That's how I met my second girlfriend. And then the third one I met, ironically enough, on Tinder. And then, of course, the fourth one that I told you about. I met her because, well, I met her at a bar. I'll leave it at that.
Shit, we all meet women at bars. What are you talking about?
No, if you knew the story of how I met her at the bar, you'd be like, what the fuck
Tell us the story then, nigga. Tell us the story. Stop being scarce on the details.
That's what we want to hear. Yeah, how did you meet? In the bathroom?
Basically, I got into a fight and thrown out of a bar.
Yeah.
In my defense, it was because a guy was fucking with her.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
So basically, I just hit him with a stool and booked it.
You hitting niggas in the head with stools, really, nigga? And you talking about you struggling to get chicks? So you got I don't believe that, HC. So you got the confidence to hit a nigga with a stool, but you ain't got the confidence to get some pussy.
I live in a college. Keep in mind, I live in a college town, so it's not that hard to get into a bar fight and like disappear in the crowd if you know what you're doing.
I don't believe you hitting niggas with stools, dude.
When you do not check your insecurities, you place yourself at a disadvantage, and you subject yourself to the sufferings of the nice guy or the nice girl syndrome, which is incomparable to the good guy or good girl effect. According to the Good Men Project, within the article entitled "The Difference Between Being a Good Guy and a Nice Guy," being kind or good comes from a place of confidence or self-esteem. You give because your cup is full and you feel able to share authentically from that fullness. When you give to others, it's not from a place of needing that given return. And if someone is asking too much of you, you can establish healthy boundaries. Nice people conduct emotional transactions. They give to get something in return. Whether it's seeking approval or trying to manipulate the other person into feeling like they have to return the favor, they feel inadequate and therefore won't say what they want for fear that the person won't like them. Essentially, the good individual has a good relationship with others because they have a good relationship with themselves, whereas the nice individual suffers most given lacked confidence. Although they are mannerable, articulate, and willing to give of themselves, their interactions are often transactional, which is less than favorable. So essentially, establish a sense of self and establish boundaries so you are not taken advantage of or place yourself in unhealthy predicaments. Don't be nice, be good. Because you have to understand, a lot of times, every individual, no matter where they rank in the social hierarchy, they're gonna have their insecurities. And other people that have insecurities or just have the capability of recognizing insecurities, see your insecurities, and they may use you to their benefit and at your detriment. And if you're a nice person, you will allow someone to use you for their personal gain in the hope that you'll receive something in return. If you are continuously being mistreated by others, it is because you are allowing yourself to be mistreated by others because you too mistreat yourself. It's one thing to be a nice person, but it's another thing to be a good person. Being nice essentially is the equivalency to being willfully stupid, willfully ignorant. Be good to yourself, and others will be good unto you, because you will facilitate the people that come in and out of your life based on the goodness that you have established within yourself. Be good, not nice.
Won't cheat on me with my friends like a lot of women I've tried dating have done. Like seriously, if I had a dollar for every time a girl cheated on me, like I went on a date with, immediately left me to go fuck one of my friends, I could buy a flat screen TV.
Why do you still have those friends?
Wait a second. How much does a flat? How much does a flat screen cost these days?
Yeah, you can get one
No,
for like
when I say
$200.
a flat screen TV, I'm talking like a 9-inch on sale.
So let's just say bare minimum.
Insignia from Best Buy.
Let's just say bare minimum $150. So you've had 150.
Yeah,
150 friends or 100 something like. How come all your friends are taking all your bitches? Like, what is going on here? Like, what is really
your friends
going on? They have no respect for you at all.
Yes, no respect.
No respect. What kind of friends you got, dude? Listen, you just said if I had a dollar for all my friends that fucked all my chicks, nigga, that's a lot of damn women. That's a lot of damn friends, so-called friends, and then. You're saying that they're all up in your bed, dropping man juice off in your bed that you got to lay your head in every single night. When's the last time you changed your mattress out, bruh?
Actually, there was one time when I had a girl over who I tried sleeping with, but then another one of my friends fucked her.
Come on.
Actually,
Same night?
Come on.
Actually, the
Come
same
on.
night. Because I was so upset, I took the mattress to my friend's house and we lit it on fire in his backyard.
Social competency is defined to consist of social, emotional, cognitive, and behavioral skills needed for successful social adaptations. Social competence also reflects having the ability to take another's perspective concerning a situation, learn from past experiences, and apply that learning to the changes in social interactions. It is understandable to have social anxieties, as most people who are ostracized or inverted do. Yet you have to be able to pick up on social cues. You must be cognizant of different social decorums, developing fluency within social competency. For instance, Roger, the constant invasion of privacy, spontaneous intrusions during intimate moments, hiding under the twins' bed, climbing the twins' balconies, in the twins' room while they're sleeping. When they're hosting sleepovers, he's sneaking in. There's a constant disregard of the twins' boundaries. And then as seen with Penelope Taint, there's occasions where she's dressing up in costumes trying to get to Amanda. She has an accomplice that is also assisting her in getting to Amanda. There's a constant invasion of privacy. There's this one episode where Penelope climbs his telephone tower trying to connect herself to Amanda's number. There's a constant disregard for boundaries. Roger and Penelope couldn't understand and or accept rejection given their lacked social competency. Furthermore, being the reason why they were so persistent. You have to be able to pick up on these social cues. When you are in the workplace, it is most suggested that you do not pursue your coworkers. Although convenient, it's not professional, nor is it the most comfortable experience if the feelings are not reciprocated. If you're looking for a wife or a husband, although you could find one in a bar, it's not the most suggested. So develop social competency skills and be able to pick up on verbal and nonverbal communication.
If I could sum it up in a simple sentence, I'm always that guy who tries talking to a woman and eventually gets pulled aside for one of her friends to say, "Hey, you're making her uncomfortable." I could just be making small talk, and the woman is just like,
"How are you making her uncomfortable? Are you like trying to squeeze her nipples while you're talking? I mean, what are you doing to where their friends are coming in trying to say you're making them uncomfortable? Like, What are you saying? Do you got your...
Nothing. I'm just really cautious, and I say the most benign thing I can think of.
Like what? Like, hey, how you doing,
Like
Sally? Can I eat your ass? Hey, let's go over here and get us a burger. You know, like, are you doing some shit like that? Like,
The most benign thing I can think to say. Like, I just ask about their interests, what they like to do, stuff like that. This is when I go to like a bar, or in most recent case, when I go to like my job. I met a girl who like works in the pharmacy at my job, and I got her number. Didn't work out, and I didn't exactly, figure out until it was too late. She wasn't interested. That's what.
And the final reason why you may be experiencing rejection as a black nerd and finding difficulty within dating is because of your hygiene. It honestly has little to do with your select style. Of course, style is a factor, but if you're wearing graphic tees, everyone is wearing graphic tees. Grandparents, parents, children, young adults, we're all wearing graphic tees. Some people go as far as wearing Spider-Man shirts, Marvel shirts, DC Universe shirts, and some people go as far as wearing Disney shirts like Frozen. So, it rarely has anything to do with your select style, but more so your hygiene. Are you putting on deodorant? Are you moisturizing your skin? Are you tending to your hair? If you wear an afro, I'm not telling you to flat iron your hair or change who you are, but tend to who you are. If you have an afro, moisturize your hair, put some oil sheen in, oil your scalp, pick it out if that's what you do. Twist your hair, take care of your hair. There are certain things about ourselves that we cannot change per se, like having dark spots or having acne, but we can do what we can. Drink water. If you can consume better foods, consume better foods. Are you wearing your shirts, a little too often without washing them? Are you flossing your teeth? Are you brushing your teeth? Are you scrubbing your tongue? So essentially what I'm trying to get people to understand is it's not that someone is judging your quality of manhood or womanhood given your interest in Harry Potter or the Lord of the Rings Chronicles, or because you like to read James Baldwin and listen to Nina Simone, or because you are just a little different than what is stereotyped or expected. It's not because of your quality. In most cases, it's due to varying factors that you have the most control over. Your hygiene, your social competency, your self-esteem, your insecurities. A lot of times you experience difficulties within relationships, within dating, given varying factors that you have the most control over.